Hey y'all, welcome to the filling station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, y'all, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla, and y'all know I say so often, Tesla does what Tesla does, right? We closed at 332.05. We've made a pre-market low thus far at 323.37, so we are gapping down today. So I always say where the trouble places, back to the upside for Tesla, 325.36. If we should break that level, we could very well come back to 327.32. Again at 328.35, breaking that 329.42. Should we break that level, 330.47, and breaking that, that's the ATR trailing stop. Breaking that, we also have the 50 EMA around the 330.82 as of now. That could be a strong resistance area in my opinion. Breaking that brings us back to 331.39. And should we break that level, 332.58, and there's a few layers here, 333.13 and 333.77. So if you are trading Tesla back to the upside, those are possible rejection areas. Now back to the downside. Let's say this is, again, our support is around that 323.76 area. Should we break that, we could very well come back down to this area, 322.84. Now if we break that 322.84, we could very well come back to around the 320.30, breaking that level, 317.93. Yeah, 317 for Tesla, right? If we should break that area, 315.43 could be a support place. And if we should break that level, we can come back to 312.57. 311.29, not far away, 308.47, and again here at 306.75. So if you are trading Tesla today, those are possible support places. Again, y'all, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are. So we are now looking at the SPY. We closed at 595.93, and as you can see, we've been trading in a gathering spot. It seems as if the SPY is trying to set us up. I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart because I wanted to point this out. It's been trading sideways since this day, which is about 6.3. Today is 6.5. So it's been trading sideways. Is it setting us up for a big move up or a big move down? Either way, I always say trade carefully, right? So where are the trouble places for the SPY today? Right now, support is around this level, 595.97. We've been here before, here, and here. So we kind of need to watch this area as a level of support back to the upside. If we should break back above 596.43, that is our resistance as of now, or 590, let's say 596.45. If we should break that level, 596.71, and breaking that brings us back to around, let's say 597.01, breaking that 597.01 area, we could very well have trouble somewhere around the 597.41, 597.41. And if we should break that, 597.69 could be a trouble place. 598.04, again 598.29. Let me make sure that's right. Yes, 598.29. And if we break that, keep in mind we could possibly have trouble somewhere around the 598.98. Now there is a space in between that we could very well get stopped out at, so I say trade carefully between the 598.29 to the 598.97 area. We could very well get stopped out. Now back to the downside, let's look and see where, if we lose this support here, 595.97, we have the ATR trail and stop around the 595.58, and as you can see, that's been our zone, our gathering spot for a while here. So losing this area would be a strong area of support in my opinion. Back to the downside, under the 595.58, we could possibly have trouble 595.32, 595.16, 594.96. That's an area of support. Now should we lose this area here, we could very well come back to 594.17, but keep in mind anything can stop us out in this area here. So I would say trade carefully if you're trading the SPY from the 594.96 down to the 594.17. not far away, but we could still very well get stopped out. So should we lose this area 594.17, we have the 200 EMA as of now 593.64. We're going to use that as a support area. Should we break that area 593.30, and if we should break that 592.62, breaking that level 592.16 or 18, and if we should break that area 591.57. So if you are trading this SPY today, y'all know I said trade carefully. In this market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Let's look at Meta today just to see where we are. We closed at 687.95. It has been trading in this zone here. Support was around, let's say, the 688.16, resistance at around 692.34. That is the zone that we've been trading in pre-market. Now, where are the trouble places, right? So back to the upside, we would need to get back above this 5 EMA as of right now, which is around the 590 area. So I would say 590.26. If we should get back above that, we could possibly have trouble here at the 592.34, 594.21. Breaking that brings us back to this level of 598.27. So let's go back here. 594.21. We could very well get stopped out in between here because the next level I have marked is at 598.27. Breaking that level, $700.99. If we should break that level, 703.51, 705.50. And if we break that 705.50, keep in mind we can come up to this 711.27 and get, have some trouble in that area. But from this area of 705.50 to the 711 area, we could very well get stopped out because there's a space that we need to go back and fill in. So I would say if you're trading Meta today, those are possible rejection areas or your resistance places. Again, not financial advice. Now, back to the downside, under this level here of 688.16, we have the ATR trailing stop at 687.63, not very far away. So losing this area means we've lost an area of support. In my opinion, a strong place of support, because that's what's been holding us up. We could very well come back to the 685.28, not far from the 685.04, which is the 50 EMA as of now. Should we lose this area of support, we could very well come back to 682.86, 681.46, and breaking that level around the let's say here, 679.59, and I'm just coming to where the bottom of this candle here is. So that's 659, let's say 679 area. We can come back. Should we lose this area of 681.46, we can come back to 679.85. Breaking that brings us back to 675.90, again at 673.45, and breaking that brings us back to around 671.64. Now, should we break that level for Meta, we could very well come back to 669.41. That is where our 200 EMA is, and a previous level that I had marked here. So that's again why it's important that we mark our support and resistance area. So if you are trading Meta today, those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, not financial advice. I got to figure out. Okay, so we are now looking at NVDA. NVDA closed at 141.92, and it seems to have gotten rejected at this ATR trailing stop, only to come back down. We seem like we have found support. I'm going to make this line here because we have found support at this place here of 141.17. Looks like it could go in either direction, right? So trouble places to the upside: 141.42, 141.64, 141.88, 142.08, and if we break that level of 142.08, we can come back to around the 142.34, which is our ATR trailing stop, and we had trouble here. So I would definitely watch that area. Again, not financial advice. Keep in mind we could very well have trouble 142.42. Breaking that brings us back to 142.62, and if we should break that 142.90. So if you're trading NVIDIA today, those are possible areas to the upside. Now, to the downside, let's say we lose this area of support here at 141.17. We could very well come back to around 140.92, again at 140.68, 140.38, 140.08, and breaking that brings us 139.72. Now, if we break that level, the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart is around the 139.63 as of now, which is not far from a level of 139.58 that I have marked here. So we definitely need to watch this area. If we should break this 139.58, The next level that I have marked is down here at the 139.12. Keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in this area here. So if you're trading, NVIDIA today, these are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, y'all, not financial advice. And I say in this market so many times, I say in this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we do have a few inside day candles, and I like to give the trigger to those, meaning if it breaks beyond this area, this is our possible target. So Disney DIS is first on the list. And if by chance we break above 114.08, upside target 114.71. Now to the downside under 112.96, we have a downside target for Disney at 112.49. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. GM is a double inside day. So if by chance we break above 49.11, we have 49.16 as a target. Now to the downside under 47.59, downside target for GM 47.27. Not very far, but it is on our list as an inside day. I believe Google, GOOG, it's also an inside day candle for today, and as you can see, we have already broken through that trigger pre-market, the 171.06. So we have an upside target of 173.46. It looks as if we're getting rejected at this area of 172.31. So we definitely need to be careful. Now back to the downside. Can we come back to the downside? Absolutely. Under 168.64, downside target for GOOG or Alphabet Inc. See, today is the 168.47. So if you are trading Google today or Alphabet Inc. C, it is an inside day candle. Kroger is also an inside day candle. If by chance we break above 67.11, upside target 68.19. Now down to the downside 66.13. Should we break that level, downside target 66.04. So if you are trading Kroger today or KR, it is an inside day candle. So let's look at AMD today just to see where we are. We closed at 118.58, and as you can see, we have bounced at this ATR trailing stop. However, that is our support place. Our resistance, we could use that 5 EMA or the 20 EMA or a previous level that I have marked here at 118.66. So where are the trouble places for AMD today? Back to the upside, we will need to get back above, let's say, around the 118.76 area. Breaking that brings us back to 119.03. We could possibly have trouble there. If we break that level, 119.37, beyond that 120.03. Should we break that 120.03 area, 120.68, 120.91, 121.12. So that 121.12 is a rejection area or resistance, possible rejection area. And if we should break that, 121.46. Now to the downside, let's say we break under this ATR trailing stop, under this 50 EMA, which is around the 118.37. We could very well find support around the 118.25, breaking that level, 117.89, 117.59, 117.38. And if we should break that level, 116.86 could be a support place for us for AMD, and breaking that brings us back to around this level of 116.32. Now if we break that, you see the 200 EMA as of now is at that 116.10. Breaking that level, which is not far away from here, we could very well come back to the 115.79. So if AMD is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully, y'all. In this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. We do have one more inside day candle, which was Walmart. And I would say if we should break above $100.15 upside target today for Walmart is $100.92. Now we are at this, 99.31 trigger to the downside. So we definitely need to be careful here if that's something that you trade. Under the 99.31 downside target for Walmart today is 98.56. So if you trade WMT, which is Walmart, I say trade carefully. I'm going to go back to the SPY just to see kind of like where we are. Yeah, it seems like to me that the SPY is setting up for something, either a big move to the upside or a big move to the downside. And y'all know I say so often, just trade what you see, trade carefully, right? So this is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging again is trying to figure out what strategy that works best for you. and having the discipline to execute whatever plan that you have. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all, we learn and we grow together. So with that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.